Spoon, your action figure aficionado here, taking a little time trip back to the 80s with this overlooked but great line of toys from Soma. This was produced exclusively for a store back then known as Woolworths that it did have quite a few great toys released in the 80s. You can see from some of the stickers, even on the cards. Here, let's just take it in. There we go. We can read that one better. At $2.49. So a figure mid to late 80s, $2.49. That's still a pretty decent price. So it's not like they were super cheap, because honestly, that's about what I was paying for He-Man toys back then. But it's like I said, a line by Soma known as Monster Man. So here are all the Monster Men. And we have a bird creature starting from left to right. We have then a lizard or dragon, a rock man, a mud man, a tree man, and a fireman. So these toys were just basically cast filled with soft plastic. They have limited articulation, leg, arms, neck for head movement. That's about it for all of them, but they overall, I think this one was my favorite as a child. So these are actually my original ones from being a kid. I always liked lizards and dragons, so I think that's why that one was my favorite. Rock Dude's pretty neat looking too. You guys, just a little look there. Card backs. You know, they came blistered, as you see, and the artwork was... This is the generic art. There is also like a Halloween type art for the card backs as well that you can find if you're looking for a mint on card. But this is the standard card back, and it depicts all the creatures. Traditional with most Woolworths toys. There's nothing really other than UPC on the back, not very limited production value on the back of that card. But the front, it's got great little painting there with art on it. And I'm shocked that I kept actually 3 of these card backs, since they're all identical in appearance. I would usually just keep 1 at that point. I think I even only ever kept 1 of the Thundercat card backs I had, minus special ones like the Driller that I picked up. Anything that was unique, I would keep it. But I was a young hoarder, so to speak, and I kept just about anything I could for my toys, and which still holds true today. I'm still having trouble fine-tuning that collection, but I am a big fan of obscure 80s monsters type toys, monster, creature, whatever you call them. So you'll also notice that the card says glows in the dark. I'm also a big fan of any toy that glows in the dark, and in the late 80s, early 90s, that was a huge gimmick that you saw across the board. Every toy line had to have that glow-in-the-dark toy somewhere in there, whether it was a Night Fighter, RoboCop, or Scareglow from Masters of the Universe. Huge thing back then. But let's take a look and see how well they glow. And not the greatest effect, but you can see them. And welcome back to the light here. I could see them a little bit and through the camera, but a lot more so in person. So they still hold up pretty well. Still a big fan of these, and I'd like to cover more of these types of action figures, toys of the 80s in future installments. Just Obscurities, random lines that I might still have or be interested in. I'm Spoon, your action figure aficionado. Hope to catch you on the next review.